Hi, everyone. Welcome to Enjoy English. I'm Steven.
大家好，我是 Bernice.
Today's day is May the 14th. We're going to be looking at pages 30 to 31 under technology.
这个各位同学对于这个单元呢，其实很受欢迎的这个单元，很多学生会说，老师，我好喜欢听你们讲这个单元，讲的是科技新知。
The title today is Posting Ennui.The silence of social media.
哇，刚才 Stephen 老师念了一个什么字啊？好特殊的一个发音啊！因为这个字呢，其实它是一个法文字，所以呢，它特别的发音会有点不太一样。它讲的是这个字呢，它其实意思就是说你觉得有点倦怠了，你觉得我不想要做这件事了，好累，干嘛做这件事呢？所以它讲的是贴文，就是我们在网络上面，在你的这些社群媒体上面贴文的一个倦怠。特别讲的就是社群媒体的沉默。
Right. And since it is like a word that's not based in American English, like there's going to be different pronunciations for the
发音会不太一样。
For typical American English, we would pronounce it ennui, but I've heard ennui and I've heard ennui. So yeah, it just depends on your personal preference, but we're going to choose to do the American pronunciation, which is ennui.
Okay.
When social media becomes less.social
media 当它变得不那么社群的时候呢
Let's find out.
好的
Posting ennui. The silence of social media. Have you noticed that your social media feeds have grown quieter lately? People are sharing fewer photos and status updates than they did before. Posting ennui, the feeling that posting has become boring and stressful, has spread worldwide. We might be heading toward posting zero, a point at which ordinary users stop sharing things on social media as they grow tired of constant noise and exposure. Part of this shift comes from changes in how social media platforms operate. Today, when users open most apps, they are immediately flooded with targeted ads, while personal posts are often buried beneath waves of content. When users feel that their voices are competing with professional creators and brand promotions, many think that sharing their daily lives online is simply not worth the effort. Recent surveys show that nearly 1/3 of social media users now post less than they used to. This trend is especially noticeable among Gen Z adults. Instead of broadcasting their thoughts publicly, many people now prefer group chats and private messages, where interactions feel more personal and genuine. Together, these changes have created a common feeling that posting has become a chore. While public posts may be decreasing, people have not disappeared. They are simply choosing quieter, more private ways to stay connected.
Have you noticed that your social media feeds have grown quieter lately?
今天出现了一个新的单字。我们知道为什么很多同学喜欢这个单元，就是因为科技的字日新月异，每一分每一秒有时候都会跑出一个新的字。这时候你看到一个字叫 feed， 之前就有学生说，老师这个字不是喂食吗？所以什么叫做在网络上面喂食？这是什么意思呢？其实它讲的是你在社群媒体上面的动态的这个消息的展现啊。所以他这边就讲说，你有没有注意到，其实你现在你自己的社群动态已经开始变得怎么样了呢 ？Growing， 然后后面用一个形容词 quieter， 而且还用的是比较级，是更加比较安静的。Lately 是最近，因为有 lately 嘛，所以你要用的是现在完成式啦。所以就是说，你的社群动态最近变得比较安静，你有注意到这件事吗
？Have become quieter lately 也可以 right? But I like that verb use of grow. And I like how this paragraph and this whole article starts with a question, because usually you use that way to kind of get people's attention and get them to ask that question themselves. And they, oh yeah, I've noticed that. And then they'll want to continue reading. So it's a very good technique when you're writing to use a question at the very beginning.
没错。
Obviously not for every single article, but if you want to kind of like use a way to quickly catch someone's attention and connection with your article, it is a good technique. And to think about social media feed, first of all, 自媒体 is how we say social media, but 自, this word is not in the English. It's not self-media.
对对对
Yeah,
对对
we say social media.
Yeah.
And feeds, okay, you made a good point. 很像 way, right?
对
I think of it as, because a social media feed is like a stream of content with like videos, photos, ads from your friends or brands or creators that you keep getting, you know, when you're scrolling. It's kind of like it's feeding you a lot of information.
对
So that's how I think of it. And that might help you remember that word.
确实也是，因为它在很短的时间之内，然后因为我们这样子一直滑，然后就哇，好多的资讯跑到我们的喂进我们的大脑里面了。
Yes. People are sharing fewer photos and status updates than they did before.
他就开始解释啦。当你觉得你自己的社群动态变得比较安静的时候呢，他说呢，就是有些人们呢，现在 are sharing 正在分享的东西呢，可是分享的是 fewer 越来越少的一些你的照片也好啦，甚至呢你自己本身的一些 status， 就是你的这些状态啦，好，就是你在这个网络上面的这个状态啦，什么样的状态呢？更新的状态，就是有时候常常很多人以前会常常说，哦，比如说我这一秒现在人在哪？哎，我等一下又跑到哪里去了？哎，可是现在这样的一个状态的更新呢，也比以前 than they did before 比他们以前这么样做这件事情来得变得比较更少了。
Posting ennui, the feeling that posting has become boring and stressful has spread worldwide.
所以他这个句子就开始更加的解释我们今天这样的一个标题了。他就讲说呢，其实啊，这种贴文倦怠呢，它就是一种感觉。什么样的感觉？后面用这个冠带来形容这样的一个感觉，就是当你觉得 posting 你去张贴这些文章的时候呢，你觉得已经变得好无聊、枯燥乏味，甚至你觉得有种充满压力的感觉。这样的一个贴文倦怠的现象呢，已经蔓延到世界各地了。
And we get that long line after ennui, and then the long line before has spread worldwide. That's because that's just additional information trying to explain what posting ennui is. Obviously, you could have had a whole sentence just saying posting ennui is the feeling blah, blah, blah. That's perfectly fine as well. But sometimes authors, they want to choose to have the meaning in the article in case some people don't know what it is, but they don't want to like have a whole separate section explaining what it is. So the M dash is a very, very good option to do that without, you know, hurting your structure of your paragraph. Okay, so the main sentence is posting ennui has spread worldwide.
对
Okay, we might be heading toward posting zero, a point at which ordinary users stop sharing things on social media as they grow tired of constant noise and exposure.
好，我们又在这个句子又学到另外一个 term 的一个新的这样的一个说法。他就讲说呢，我们might be 就是很有可能会这个样子，有什么样的一个可能？或许我们会 head toward， 我们的 head 就是头嘛，所以就是朝着某一个方向走过去了。我们会走向一种零贴文的时代。什么叫做 posting zero？ 就是你什么都不想贴了嘛，对不对？所以呢，他就讲了，这个 posting zero 呢，就是 a point， 你会走到这样的一个阶段或者这样的一个状况里面 ，at which 这个 at which 当然你可以用 where 来取代。在这样的一个状态里面，我们一般的 ordinary 就是我们的一般的这些用户呢，就开始停止分享东西在我们的社群媒体上。那么 as 这边的 as 是因为什么我们开始会停止分享了呢？本来我们大家都很喜欢做这样的一件事情的时候，为什么开始会有这个状况？是因为我们开始变得越来越 tired of， 开始觉得有一点厌倦了。厌倦于什么？这种不断一直持续的噪音。 还有这样子的一种曝光的状态。曝光的状态就是指每个人都知道你现在在哪嘛，或者你现在在做什么。我现在开始觉得对于这样的不断的噪音跟曝光，开始觉得有点厌倦了。
Yeah, like exposure in this sentence also means like you keep seeing it all the time. You keep seeing all these things on social media. Like there's no stop to it. So it's quite tiring after a while. All right, let's take a short break.
好的。
Part of this shift comes from changes in how social media platforms operate.
好，那有一部分这样的一种 shift， 这个 shift 我们就知道它是一种转换啊，这样的一个转换。为什么会有这样的一个转变呢？他说这种转变的部分是来自于某一些的变化。什么样的变化呢？就是在 how social media platforms operate， 就是到底这些社群媒体的平台他们是如何运作的这样的一个方式。因为这样的一个运作的方式呢，所以产生了这些转变的部分。
Today, when users open most apps, they are immediately flooded with targeted ads, while personal posts are often buried beneath waves of content.
他就开始讲了这些所谓的社群媒体平台到底是怎么样去运作的。他说呢，其实在如今呢，当我们这些使用者用户呢打开我们的这些应用程式呢，我们就立刻的被怎么样呢 flooded with 像洪水般的猛兽般的把我们淹没过去了。就是我们每天都收到好多很大量的这样子的 targeted ads。这个 target 我们都知道是一个目标，对不对？所以所谓的 targeted ads， 我们中文就把它翻成所谓的定向广告。定向广告是什么意思呢？比如说，可能 Brace 老师很喜欢到网络上面去购买跟狗狗有关的图案，那只要我再点进去，它就会跳出一堆狗狗的东西，狗狗包包、狗狗衣服、狗狗帽子、狗狗项链啊，全部都跳出来了，因为他知道。这个用户他喜欢看动物方面的一些东西，所以这个对于我来说就是所谓的 targeted ads。While personal posts， 那我们呢？而我们这些个人自己本身的这个贴文呢，就往往被埋起来了，被藏起来了。藏在什么之后呢？藏在什么东西的下面呢？Waves of content， 这个 content 就是指这个 wave， 当然不是真的是指波浪啦，就是指一波波接踵而至的。这些大量的内容里面，那我们个人贴文就被埋起来了，不是吗？看不到了。
And I want to talk about that verb, be flooded with targeted ads. Be flooded with just means like, 像what Bernice 老师说洪水 right? Another verb you could use is bombarded.
像被轰炸一样，嘣嘣嘣嘣这样子。
And bombard is BOMBARD. Okay, I really like that verb, bombard. Or it just means like receiving so much of something like you can't deal with it. You can't even digest it. 不能消化.
Yeah.
And I love how this author, like they chose to have this water imagery like twice in this sentence. And that's a very good technique to kind of be consistent. Because if they used bombarded in the sentence, that would have been okay too. But might as well kind of have that water theme, in the same sentence so that it has like a connective element. So I think it's very impressive. When users feel that their voices are competing with professional creators and brand promotions, many think that sharing their daily lives online is simply not worth the effort.
所以呢，当我们这些一般的这个用户呢，当我们去开始怎么样，发觉我们的声音啊，我们自己的声音啊，要去跟一些人去做竞争。什么样的人？我们都是一般的这个用户啊，可是我要竞争的对象是 professional 的，是很专业的这些所谓的创作者也好啦，或者是这些品牌的这个推广啦，我要去跟他们做竞争的话呢，那很多人 many 就是 many people， 他们就认为，好吧，那我现在每天呢，在这个社群网站上面呢，分享我的日常生活这件事情 ，simply 基本上根本一点都怎么样不值得我的努力嘛 ，not worth， 记得 worth 后面要接的是名词，所以他觉得仅仅呢根本就不值得我们这样的任何一种努力，因为要跟专业的比，我们的算什么呢
？Usually when we use the word effort, we use put in effort or put in the effort. Yeah, but here it's saying that it's not worth the effort. 不值得那个努力。
对
And simply, this adverb, it just means like nearly or just. Like many people think that sharing their daily lives online is just not worth the effort. That's another option as well. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way sometimes nowadays as well. Like social media is interesting and it is a good way to be social and to stay in contact with your friends and kind of stay updated in each other's lives. But I've noticed recently, like it is really, I don't even see my friends' posts anymore. I just see like a bunch of ads and I see a bunch of things.
这倒是真的。
I'm like, where's that personal element of social media?
没错，因为我们确实没有办法拿着手机24小时的一直不断的在滑动，所以有的时候这些广告呢，他们一直不断的出现在这一个 social media 里面，确实你要去看到你自己的或看到别人的一些动向，都好像看不到，因为都被这些广告给淹没起来了。
All right, let's take a short break.
好的。
Recent surveys show that nearly 1/3 of social media users now post less than they used to.
好啦，就从调查里面来了解一下吧。他说呢，最近的调查就显示了，几乎呢有1/3的这些所谓的社群媒体原本的这些用户呢，现在他们 PO 的文呢，确实比较 less， 比较少了。比什么时候来的少呢 ？They used to 就是比他们以前来的更少了1/3。
So here, nearly another word you could use is almost, that almost 1/3 of social media users, because a lot of my students have a hard time understanding how to use nearly. Yeah, so I think that's a good way to think of it, almost.
Okay.
So, and also in Chinese, we say 1/3.
Yeah.
So we usually say the larger part first, but here it should be 1/3. We do the
英文
opposite
相反。
in English, so that's something to remember.
没错。
This trend is especially noticeable among Gen Z adults.
对，那这个1/3的社群媒体的用户的发文量比以前少呢，这样的一个趋势，尤其特别呢是 noticeable， 就是很明显的，很 apparent。apparent 很明显的，尤其是在 Z 世代这样的成年人。
So that preposition here, among, we use it a lot in our lessons, and I think a lot of people still need to have like a way to be comfortable in using it. It's just a preposition to say like occurring in or shared by like members in a community or a group. So here we're saying that many people of the Gen Z community, they are kind of having this situation right now where they don't really feel like it's worth putting in the effort to post.
Yeah.
Okay. Instead of broadcasting their thoughts publicly, many people now prefer group chats and private messages, where interactions feel more personal and genuine.
好啦 instead of 我们知道是表示而不是，所以呢这一群刚才讲的 Z 世代的这些成年人呢，他们非但呢就没有想说，我要 broadcast， 我们知道 broadcast 就是做广播嘛，那广播的意思就是指你要去公开你自己发表你自己的一些想法啊 ，publicly 就是公开，所以呢，与其呢我干脆公开发表我自己的想法。很多人现在呢就想说，我宁愿怎么样？干脆跟我自己喜欢的这些群组呢去做这个 group chats， 去做这个群组的聊天，甚至呢干脆我直接用私讯就好啦，对不对？那在这样的一个状态里面，就是在刚才的 group chats 或者是 private messages 里面 ，where， 因为他觉得在这样子的一个状态里面呢。interactions 彼此人跟人之间的互动呢，好像才感觉比较更加的私密，而且比较的 genuine， 比较的真诚。
Also, this personal, 你刚刚讲私密 right?
对。
也可以讲是很个人的 That's my personal information. 是我个人的比较私密的 But when you want to say that you want people to feel more personal, that means that, let's say that I tell Bernice 老师 I feel like you should be more personal. That means that 我可能觉得他比较没有跟大家有一种连接的感觉。对 When you are being more personal, it means like 你要人家跟你有个连接感。Yeah, so that's what, it can have two meanings, basically.
OK, 所以这个字有其他的另外一个隐藏的意思。
Yeah, and then genuine just means like real. You're not being fake. You're telling it how you really feel.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are preferring this kind of interaction because it feels more human.
没错，才像人嘛，对不对？
Yeah.
人性的感觉。
And also, you said in the beginning, 而不是, right? And Chinese grammar, usually 而不是 would be in the second part of the sentence.
Right.
But in English, a lot of times we take that and put it at the beginning of the sentence to kind of, like help the main sentence. And then our main point is people are now preferring group chats and private messages. In the English language and grammar, we like to use this technique because you could put, instead of broadcasting their thoughts publicly, at the end of the sentence. But that's kind of like what you end with, and sometimes people will take that as the main point of the sentence.
没错。
So a lot of times we will take additional auxiliary information and put it in the beginning so that the main point is more embedded in people's minds because it's the last part of the sentence.
没错，这个是在英文的一个，就是在写句子的一个修辞上面，或它排列上面的方式，跟我们中文会有一些不一样的地方。
因为我们已经有那个习惯，所以我们常常会觉得重点是放在后面。
没错，他们喜欢把比较重要的英文里面比较重要，他会把它放在后面，然后他觉得其他的一些额外的一些资讯，他把它抓到最前面。
Together, these changes have created a common feeling that posting has become a chore.
这边用的一个 together 就是指刚才上面你所了解到的这些变化，就是人们现在开始比较喜欢跟自己的群组去聊天啦，或者是比较偏向私讯这样子的，而不是把自己的这些想法呢去做公开这样的一个变化呢 together 这些全部的变化加在一起呢，这些改变呢现在呢已经开始共同造成了一种比较普遍的一个感受。什么样的感受呢？就是他们会觉得，这些人会觉得呢，我要去做贴文这件事情好像变成了一种 chore。 什么是 chore？ 就是一个苦差事，就是我觉得没有什么有趣，还蛮讨厌，不是很喜欢的感觉。
Yeah, because chore usually is doing the laundry, washing the dishes, these things that you have to do, but you're usually not having fun in doing.
对，你根本不愿意想要做。
So when something becomes a chore to you, that just instantly allows people to know you mean this thing is not so fun to do. Okay, but you have to do it.
对。
Yeah. While public posts may be decreasing, people have not disappeared.
所以呢 while 这边表示就是说 although 表示虽然的意思啦。虽然呢我们做公开贴文呢这样的一个状况呢，这个数量呢 may be decreasing， 或许其实真的是有所减少。可是呢，那要记得我们英文就不能再把可是写出来了啊，因为你这个句子已经有一个连接词了啊，但我们中文是可以翻的哈。可是呢，人们啊，其实实际上并没有就这样消失了哦。
They are simply choosing quieter, more private ways to stay connected.
对 ，simply 又来了。只是呢，这一群人他们现在跑哪儿去了呢？只是他们选择，我先保持安静啊，我要比较安静一点，而且我要用一种比较私密的方式来保持我跟其他人之间的联系。
Right. Sometimes I'll be sitting there and I'm like, I haven't seen so-and-so in so long, or I haven't heard from so-and-so in so long. Because you're so used to being reminded by social media of these people, but then now when I have that thought, I'm like, oh, I'm sure they're still okay. They just don't post on social media that often. So I either have to manually input their name on the social media search bar, or I have to, really just message them directly, which is what you should do, if you want to stay in contact with somebody.
没错，所以我们现在在用这些社群媒体呢，我们点进去可能不一定可以常常看得到我们朋友的这些所谓的动态消息，所以只好像刚才 Stephen 老师讲的，你只好到那个 search bar 里面去把他的名字打出来啊。我今天想要知道，Mary 到底跑哪去了 ？John 跑哪去啦？然后打一下 Mary， 再点进他个人的这个网站，然后去看，原来他现在怎么样啊？所以这就是现在 Stephen 老师做的事儿。
我觉得现在很多人已经习惯就是按进去，然后只是看他最近在干嘛，也不会主动去跟他联络。
对，很少了。
You should reach out, just say hi. All right, thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Bye-bye.